Hey, Nikki Brown here, no matter where you are and what part of the world that you are in. I hope that you are having a good day. So, life has a funny way of bringing us full circle. Life has a funny way of bringing us those full circle moments that challenge us, potentially trigger us, or show us how much we've grown and how much we've learned. And we can either embrace it or we can see it as an obstacle or a challenge. But if we embrace it, a lot of times we learn a lot more than we think we should have or would have. So I just wanted to share that with you. And if you would like to, for me to talk about that a little bit more, I can. But that's kind of it. Um, Interesting things happen. We are sorry. We are divinely guided on these journeys. And sometimes these journeys take us to places we didn't imagine ourselves going. And we come back around to some of those same people who may have affected our lives in a good way or who may have been a challenge. Um, Even let's say, for example, road rage. Um, I know in my teens and 20s I had real bad road rage because I lived in New Jersey and there was always traffic. And the traffic would be horrible. And once I moved to North Carolina, it took a few years. I was there for 7.5 years. Um, that road rage changed. And then I went back to New Jersey. So it was, you know, I was a different person when I moved back to New Jersey. Then I moved back to North Carolina. um, and so I ended up being there for an additional 5 years. A different city. And again, I realized the road rage wasn't as bad. Then, once in a while, I would still let somebody aggravate me and I might, have an outburst or something. But then I took a life coaching course and then I took a yoga instructor course. And it's like, that person must be in a rush. I'm going to get out their way and let them go head on uh, and go to wherever they need to go because clearly they're in a hurry to get there. So, that's what life is all about. What can we learn from these situations and how can we grow? And how can we see it from a different perspective and not take it personally? Um, and realize that it's probably not about us. It's probably not about you. It probably has absolutely nothing to do with you. Even though we like to see it that way or we like to get mad, um, a lot of times it has absolutely nothing to do with us or what we have going on. That person has something on their mind that they're um, working on or faced with. They're running late, um, just in a rush to go home. I was always in a rush to go home after getting off work because, you know, you may not like the things that you do at work or you may not like your coworkers, and that's what it was for me. I felt like in my last position, every day when I went to work, felt like I had to fight. I didn't know who was going to come to me asking me, ridiculous questions, trying to provoke me, uh, or challenge me in some way. And so I would be anxious to get home. And I would be, kind of just racing down the highway, um, really in a rush to go nowhere. I used to say that all the time, which is funny because I would always say, oh, people are in a rush to go nowhere. And then um, Of course, sometimes I would find myself being one of those people. I would especially say that once I moved to North Carolina, like we would be in a rush to go nowhere, to do nothing. But again, it's that anxiety and it's the stress that causes you to just want to race home or speed home because you just want to get as far away from that environment as fast as you possibly can. And so I think that's part of the mentality. Um, and at the time, you know, I was smoking weed. So I needed to get home to my marijuana because I needed to de stress. And this was going to help me. At least that's what I convinced myself of for a long time. Um, but then I would also ask myself, why did I allow, I would do my best not to allow anyone to push my buttons, or at least I wouldn't let them see that they pushed my buttons. But then I found myself maybe going home to complain to a friend or talk about it to a friend. We wouldn't call it complaining, it would be venting. But really, you can't do anything about anybody but yourself, right? So why even talk about what somebody else did? Why did you allow that person to trigger you? Because 9 times out of 10, that person is coming from a hurt place or they're afraid of something. And some fear, it could be they're afraid you're going to take their job. Um, and that's going to disrupt their livelihood, right? And so, again, it doesn't have anything to do with you. It may have something to do with this person wanting to secure their position or their station in life. So, that is that. Um, as always, I love y'all. And I hope that this was helpful. And until next time, later.